working on it.
All right.
Sorry, I was gonna move David over there, but she's got it okay. Oh, she's gonna sit down. That's unusual. Okay, that's all right. Let me not do that on the microphone.
Good morning. Good morning, you rowdy Unity people. Great to see you. We're going to start out. I wouldn't call it a rowdy song, but there's a rowdy part in it, I guess. There's my verse later on. It's a little bit rowdy. Oh, we'd love to sing this with you. We'll play it through. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and... I will greet the morning, I will greet the day, I will greet the evening, love will guide my way. Try that again. I will greet the morning, I will greet the day, I will greet the evening, love will guide my way. And we'll welcome Karina up.
Karina, keeper of the flame, and welcome to Unity Church. Welcome all of you who are here, and welcome all of you who are joining us through Zoom. So, to start us off, I have a little reading about informing what's going on the world, and an invitation. And the invitation is sharing for peace. Today, share your practice of peacemaking with at least 2 people. Today, joyfully celebrate your own peace consciousness. Share your experience of growing peace. Share your gratitude that someone else is as serious about peace as you are. Share your ideas for helping the world move closer to critical mass. A community of consciousness uses invisible building blocks to make a new reality. That is the bond that will unite us no matter how far apart we live. That practice for peace is simple, but when followed on a mass scale, their power is potentially unlimited. If you transform yourself into a peacemaker, you won't become an activist marching on the streets. You will not be anti-anything. No money is required. All you're asked to do is go within and dedicate yourself to peace. It just might work. So, with that in mind, we are a praying church, so peacemaking is also part of our calling. But as a praying church, we are blessed with the dynamic prayer chaplain team. So if there are any prayer chaplains here today, will you please stand up? So we have Deb, Dori, Ginger, and Dennis. If you would like to have one of them pray with you, please seek them after the service to pray with you. So what's happened at Unity? So first of all, we welcome back the amazing Philip Goldberg. Yes. So we experienced him a few months ago, and I was really very impressed and very moved by the stories that he will share with us. So if you want to share a little bit more on that this afternoon, there is a program at noon that is Real Life on the Spiritual Path. Now, on Wednesdays, we'll be having classes, so the membership class has ended, but now we have Living Fully with the End in Mind, a class led by our Reverend Brigid. It's Wednesdays at 7, and you can join here in the sanctuary or in Zoom. Now, winter is coming, and in preparation for that, there's a lot of families in need, in particular immigrants and refugees. So we're having a coat drive for them. So please bring any gently used clothing, so it's not only coats, but scarves, gloves, any warm layering, fleece, boots, anything you can part with, because many times people come from places that are much warmer and they're not prepared to face the weather that we have here. You can bring the items to the church until the end of December. We also are having, we're going to have an Adopt a Family program. Where? Yeah, I was looking. So you saw me going like that is because we are adopting, we have the Adopt a Family program. We have 2 families that we're adopting. And what that means is that we become Santa's helpers. We become the elves to go get some items that the families are wishing for this holiday. So please, as you leave, take one of those tickets that you call for. And So, yeah, because I was looking and I'm not sure where it is.
So in the back, you'll see there's two families, and I made these, and I'll do better next year when I figure out what the things. Right in the back, where it says Unity Events, there's all these pieces of paper hanging up there. If you take one and they're attached, they're both the same thing. Put your name on one and put it in the package and keep the other one so that I know who took it. And some of them, they ask them to wrap, and some of them they're not. But you can ask me which one's which. It's written back there. All right. So another announcement we just found out about is Gerri Alaco is doing Thanksgiving here, so he's having a potluck. So he just filled this out just 5 minutes ago. All right.
By the way, the Adoptive Family Program, we need the item by December 10th. And on November 15th, there's going to be a wonderful program at St. Vincent de Paul Church in Madison Avenue. It's called Wrapped in the Arms of God. And it's the words and music to soothe the heart. So, and guess who's one of the leaders? Our own Roger Mock with Joanne Horgan and Dennis and Lorraine. I can read. Guyon. Hey, Lorraine. On Saturday, November 18th, so next week, we're going to have a special.
Yeah, that can go.
Okay, we're back. Oh, all right. So, on Saturday, we have a special service in memoriam of our beloved Isabel Mills, and it's going to be here at noon. Next Sunday at 7 p.m., we have a special one-song program with a guest singer and I guess it's writer as well, Yvette So she is going to do a service where with chanting of the Sanskrit mantras and together with inspirational English lyrics to open your heart and free your soul. And before I go into the daily word, I have one more thing to share. And this is something that I am a member of the Prosperity Committee, and this is something that we've been talking about for a while. So here it is. I'm going to put my Prosperity Committee member's hat, like Dennis used to do. Hi, Dennis. We're inspired always by Dennis. And just a statement of the accounts for October. So at the end of October, we received a total of $17,381 in love donations. So thank you very much for your generous support because, that's what's keeping us going. And on the other side, we've been doing a lot of work on the church. We are so blessed that we have the financial backing to do the very extensive renovation of the church. And we are so blessed that we have the funds to do that. And also, many places have suffered during COVID, but not this church. So again, thank you for your continued support. The expenses for the month of October were $23,846. And now, the daily word. And the word is faith. So please join me in saying, faith heals, prospers, blesses, and sustains me. Sometimes I wish I had a way of looking into the future and knowing what to expect. But even though I cannot know how the future might unfold, I can still be prepared for it through the power of my faith. Having faith means I have an unwavering fidelity to spiritual truth. My faith is my anchor, keeping me steady during shifting worldly circumstances and focused not on the things of the world, but on the power of Spirit. My faith keeps me steadfast in the midst of uncertainty, inventive when met with stagnation, and adaptable when faced with changing circumstances. I turn my attention to God and feel my soul illuminated by my belief that everything is working for good. I align with these truths and go forth blessed by my faith. For we walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7.
My feet are strong, my eyes are clear. I cannot see the way from here, but on we go. You know the way, and in your arms you keep me safe. Fear not. Keep on, watch and pray, walk in the light of God's highway. The shadows flee, the valley is deep, but evil cannot conquer me. Your rod and your staff, they protect me. You give me rest, you give me peace. Fear not, keep on, watch and pray, walk in the light of God's highway. I see a shore from these troubled seas, this tiny ship that carries me. It is not yet, but it will be. So heaven come, it's you we need. Fear not, keep on, watch and
goodness. Oh, holy wow. There are many faces here. Oh, look around. Wow, wow, wow. Oh my. Welcome. It is really nice to see a packed church today. So welcome to those of you who are joining us from the live streaming, which thanks to Phil and his tech savvy the other day, reworking everything. We are good to go. One of the things that I love about this community is that we are really working together to live into who we say we are. And we are a welcoming community. And we welcome you whether you have been here for many, many years, if you have recently come back after being away, if this is your first or second time. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, whatever brought you through these doors, we are so glad you're here. I'm not going to have people like wave and stand up today, because there are a lot of you. But it is really wonderful to have you here. I also just want to let those of you who did that new membership class and with the idea that you wanted to sign on the dotted line and become an official member, so that later this spring when we have our new board of trustees that we're voting for them, you are going to be able to vote and be a full member in that way as well. You are always welcome to participate in everything we do here without doing that. But it is an added benefit to us for you to add your voice to those big decisions that come up in the life of this community. I am also going to give another welcome to Phil. I am very grateful to have Phil here. It is, as I said last week when I got a little choked up, me having to show up for you and for us is what keeps me grounded in my own spiritual practice, that helps me to go deeper in the face of all that we carry about the world around us. But what a gift it is to come on a Sunday and also be fed by another teacher. So in light of that, knowing Phil was coming this weekend, I also took 2 days off in a row for the first time since August. And boy, howdy, it was a good move. So keep that in mind when, the wall hits you. Often what it's telling us is to slow down. So we're going to hear a little bit about the benefits of doubt in a little bit. And I do hope that you will stay for the workshop that Phil is going to lead us in at noon. There's plenty of food downstairs, knowing that we're going to shift right from the service into a workshop. I made sure that there was enough food to keep you here and not to go off and have lunch and then come back. So stick around, join us for that. Next Sunday, we actually will welcome those new members who decided that they want to do that signing. So that'll be a really lovely service too. And Roger and his wife Martha will be off that weekend celebrating their 40th wedding anniversary. I also gave Roger and vicariously Lorraine, you, a little bit of a hard time, because really Wrapped in the Arms of God would be perfect for you to do here too, because we're doing this Living Fully with the End in Mind stuff. So maybe we can get them to do a repeat performance. If you feel called to do that, do that. If you feel called to come to here, you can do that. And we are posting the materials for these workshops on the website as well. Okay, anything else? Oh yeah, Isabel. So it is going to be a full house when we send off our beautiful Isabel with some of the other communities that she's been a part of, her sorority, the Links group of women in Albany, the Macedonian Baptist Church. It's going to be a powerful, beautiful service, and her groups of women that she's been a part of will provide a meal afterwards. So definitely come for that, but we will also do streaming because we may not be able to fit everybody who wants to be here in any of those circles. So do join us in one way or another. And we have our friend Zelda here at church, and Zelda then is going to come and speak with us on the 26th of November about the gift of community and how we can take a lesson from the three sisters. So stick around for that too. So many great things happening here. So now that I've done my public service announcements for the day, take a moment to center in with me again. Because all of those announcements that Karina shared, that I just shared, are signs of the life of this community. And we are so blessed when there is so much in the world that is distressing and can feel overwhelming. We come together to strengthen each other, to fill at the well of love and compassion, to remind ourselves that the ground of our being is love. And when we are present to each other, we breathe life into our vision and our mission, and into each other. And so with all that you may be carrying in your heart this morning, as we pause, to see the light of God's highway in front of us as we hold our vision, knowing that all of the ways we each imagine that vision coming to life, we bring that to each other as well as we say these words together. We envision a world transformed through the spiritual awakening of all. And I am grateful, so grateful for the ways this beautiful, beloved community helps me to live into my sacred purpose as we together let that vision lead us into living the call that is our mission. And as we breathe into that call, we make these words come alive as we say them together. We awaken to and embrace the divine essence of all beings through prayer and service in our community and in the world. And again, we are so blessed to not only intellectually know that oneness is the ground of our being. It is not just an intellectual study in our mind. It is an experience we receive, that we participate in, that we offer when we come together in community. And we come together not of our own egoic, I can fix this, but in a surrender to the divine, to the power that we hold in partnership with our call. And so we affirm that oneness as we breathe into it together. And we say, the power of Christ's love now releases me from any sense of separation from spirit or others. There is only one presence and one power in my life and in the universe, the all-loving goodness of God. And so it is.
It's a wonderful serendipity that today's daily word happened to be faith when we invited Phil to come and talk about doubt. Really cool. So we're going to sing this, go into our meditation time. I have faith, I pray faith, I choose faith, I am faith. Again. I have faith, I pray faith, I choose faith, I am faith. I have hope, I have hope, I pray hope, I choose hope, I am hope, I have hope, I pray hope, I choose hope, I am hope. When I trust and I let go, I know all is well. When I trust and I let go, I know all is well. I have love, I have love, I pray love, I choose love, I am love. You are love, you are love, we are love, all God's children are love. When I trust and I let go, I know all is well. When I trust and I let go, I know all is well.
As we come into this time of centering, before Phil leads us into the benefits of doubt, I invite you to take a deep breath, sense on your exhale the benefit of surrendering to the rhythm of your breath. Sensing all of the places where your body is held and supported. Noticing the physical sensations of wherever you are sitting. Coming into awareness of the ebb and flow of your breath. Trusting the ebb and flow of our ability to let go. Opening our hearts and our ears and our minds to that divine voice that whispers within. That voice that is the anchor. When all that is alive in the world makes us feel unmoored, untethered, we anchor again to our breath. We anchor to the choice we have to lean in, to love, to peace, to hope. To let our eyes and our hearts be open to the suffering in the world. And to what calls us to what is ours to do. To be peacemakers, joy spreaders. To trust wherever we are on the highway of doubt or faith that we are exactly where we are meant to be. And we are open to receive. And so take another couple of deep breaths. And we welcome Phil.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. I'm happy to be back. I want to thank Brigid and Roger for inviting me back. And happy Diwali. If you were in India tonight, you'd see lights everywhere on every home and every shop. It's a holiday that and in Indian American homes you will see it tonight. It's a holiday that is said to commemorate the what is either a historical occasion or a mythology, depending on your point of view, but it symbolizes the light within us all, the divine light within us all, and the importance of bringing it out to bring light into what is currently a very dark world. And I'm happy to be in a place that is shining some light. We all need it. This microphone's so big I can't see my notes. Okay. So this is, the word was faith, and I had chosen this topic, which seems like a contradiction, but is not, as we'll see. But it's also a reminder speaking of the workshop I'll be doing this afternoon, of why the spiritual path has been called a razor's edge and a narrow ridge and other metaphors like that, because there seems to be, we bump into paradoxes and points of ambiguity along the way. We all do. And we heard about the importance of faith. But sometimes we have a problem with faith. How many of you have ever had a crisis of faith when you doubted something and you doubted spiritual precepts, or you doubted doctrine, or you doubted somebody you held to be a teacher, or you doubted whether this whole spiritual thing is just a lot of bunk? Maybe sex, drugs, and rock and roll is really where it's at after all. But, and how many who didn't raise their hand when I said, have you had a crisis of faith, are lying? What happens to us sometimes when we hear inspiring messages like the importance of faith and affirmations like I choose faith and I am faith, is that when doubts arise, we think there's something wrong. We think we're lacking. I remember being part of a spiritual community. It was a fairly insulated one. It wasn't a terribly egregious cult or anything. But when you express doubts about something the Guru said, you weren't ostracized or anything, but you could tell it wasn't always welcome. You know, and I grew up in Brooklyn. And I was used to saying what I thought, but I learned. But after a while, I thought, maybe I'm spiritually backward because I'm not willing to take things on faith necessarily. Maybe there's something wrong with me. And that kind of doubt can lead to feelings of guilt or shame, and it can cause us to suppress the doubt. Oh, I shouldn't have those thoughts because I'm supposed to have faith. And there seems to be a contradiction there. And so we slip into denial about our doubts. And even if we can face them on our own in our private moments, we're sometimes reluctant to voice them because, as my experience, it's like you didn't want to get those dirty looks or, not be asked to do something because they didn't want you around if you kind of express your doubts. But doubt can be a very good thing. It's first of all inevitable. If you're really on a spiritual path, you're going to run into moments where there's things you say, wait a minute, is that true? Am I doing the right thing? Is this practice really working? And if you don't ever have those, you're either blessed or you're in denial. And when they arise, we should greet them with open arms. It's almost like that poem of Rumi's where you greet these what seem to be obstacles like guests. Oh, come on in. Let me see who you are. Because on the other side of that, if you go into the doubts, if you lean into them and follow with diligence, your own discernment and your own intuitive impulses about that, you will come out on the other side with deeper faith and more authentic faith, real faith, not just, well, I'm going to go along with this because maybe, I'll be cursed, or, God will not like me, or my friends will disapprove, or whatever kind of stories you tell yourself. Doubt can lead to more spiritual maturity, to deeper insight, to acceleration on a spiritual path, even though when it first arises, we think somehow it's a setback or a step backward. And in certain spiritual circles, this does not seem to be one of them. It's treated as a kind of illness or a kind of weakness of character. And so it leads to even more suppression. And this, of course, happens in orthodox circles of any religious tradition, fundamentalist circles of any religious tradition, and in cults. I don't know how many of you listen to my podcast, Spirit Matters, but I did an interview of just a few weeks ago, I think, with an expert on cults. And then he had me on his podcast. And so there are circles where expressing doubt is not welcome. A sign of a good, mature spiritual community, one of the signs is, are your doubts welcome? Can you express them without fear of ostracism or disapproval? Can they, Brigid? Didn't want to get into any trouble here. So, I almost called this talk, How to Be a Heretic. Heresy, people who express doubts in certain periods of history or certain circles are they're called heretics. And bad things have happened to people who are called heretics. It's dangerous to be called a heretic. And one of the reasons spiritual institutions treat heretics in horrible ways is they feel threatened by the heretic. People raising doubts, that's a threat to the spiritual authority. We can't have that. Burn them. We don't live in such times, but there are pockets of that. But even in open-minded, progressive, inclusive spiritual circles, it's astonishing how much a little bit of doubt, a little bit of dissent can be, in subtle ways, disapproved of, and that we do it to ourselves because it's uncomfortable. But the discomfort, if you embrace it, can move you into a higher and deeper and more authentic spirituality. The dictionary definition of heretic is one who dissents from an accepted belief or doctrine. That's not a bad thing, is it? There's a lot of accepted beliefs and doctrines that ought to be dissented from. And even in the ones that turn out to be true, it could be a great stepping stone to really understanding of spiritual principle if when a doubt about it arises, you square up to it and look into it. And then you might come to really get it and accept that precept, that doctrine, on a much deeper level than, hey, it sounds good. Or I'm supposed to believe that, so I guess I will, and I'll talk myself into it. You can come out from doubting a specific thing to truly understanding and accepting that thing on a more authentic level. Or you can say, oh, turned out to be bull. I'm not buying that anymore. And then you have to use a discernment about what replaces that. And that's how we grow. We don't believe in Santa Claus. Well, maybe some of us do. Right? We grow. And just as we don't believe the things we did as children, we may not believe exactly the things we thought of, we believed 5 years ago or 6 months ago. That's growth. That's evolution. That's progress. Heretic actually derives from the Greek term heretikos, and it means able to choose. Imagine that. Out of that came heresy and people being burned at the stake. Able to choose. What could be more American than being able to choose? It's built in to the whole founding of this country. Freedom to choose your religion, freedom from overbearing churches and governments and all that. Martin Luther was a heretic, if able to choose is the definition. Buddha was a heretic. Jesus was a heretic. Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, who started Unity, could be called heretics. They chose a different way. And they created this, and you're all enjoying the benefits of their heresy. Because, I don't know if people in their time called them heretics in their Christian church in the Midwest, but I wouldn't doubt it. That's how we progress. And if we use our discernment, if we use our intellects, if we use our intuition, if we balance mind and feeling and heart, we can come through those moments of doubt and have a deeper kind of experience and a deeper kind of faith. In the Bhagavad Gita, one of the passages that stood out for me when I read it back in the day was you're advised to approach the spiritual teacher, the guru, the holy person, with humility, a spirit of service, and thorough inquiry, sometimes translated as repeated inquiry. Not absolute trust, a certain amount of trust in people who know things we don't makes sense. But blind faith, not necessarily a good thing. A repeated inquiry. I'll tell you a quick story that's not in my notes. I was in India on one of my many trips, maybe 20 years ago, and I met some Americans who were there to see a guru. And I said, oh, okay, I'll check out the guru. It was a woman. And so I pulled my author card. I said, well, I'm an author, and I want to interview the guru. It opens doors sometimes. So I got a private interview with this guru. And I remember sitting with her on the balcony overlooking the Ganges, which was really beautiful. And they said, "We'll give you 15 minutes." And we ended up talking for an hour. And, her disciples were outside the door waiting. And I remember when I walked out, they looked at me as like, "Oh, he must be really special," because the guru gave him so much time, and we heard them laughing. So that made me feel ridiculously uncomfortable, of course, but that's what happens. And so I went back to one of their satsangs, one of their gatherings, and it was all the worshipful stuff around the guru and hushed room. And she asked for what people wanted to talk about that. And then at a certain point, she pointed at me and said, "See that man? We had a really good time the other day because he asked me hard questions. Why don't you ever ask me hard questions?" And they're all like, "Wow." Because around those, there was this sense that, oh, you don't ask hard questions, you just, because you want to show off that you have faith and trust in the guru, so you don't ask hard questions. But that's what a real teacher would want you to do. Isn't that right, Brigid? Absolutely. Which doesn't mean that we shouldn't have faith. Faith is a good thing, but it should be real faith, not faked faith, not forced faith, not coerced faith, but mature faith, authentic faith, the kind that comes from deep experience and inquiry. Someone once said that faith is the quality that converts hope into courage. And we need courage on the spiritual path, especially if we're surrounded by people who think we're nuts for even caring about such things, or to, be here on a Sunday morning when you could be, shopping. When I lived in LA, I was able to say watching the football games, but they start at 1 o'clock here. So I can't say that. But we come to crossroads often on the spiritual path where we have to make decisions, and we have to think hard, and we have to weigh our options, and we have to we go through what may seem like setbacks, and periods of doubt often are experienced that way. But when we work through them, we come out with that kind of faith that converts hope into courage. And we need that courage. We need the courage to face difficult times, to face our own doubts, to have the courage of our own convictions and our own witness of our own experience. A scholar of religion that some of you may have heard of named Wilford Cantwell Smith, here's his definition of faith: an orientation of the personality to oneself, to one's neighbor, to the universe, a total response, a way of seeing whatever one sees and of handling whatever one handles, with a capacity to live at more than a mundane level, to see, to feel, to act in terms of a transcendent dimension, to follow the light, the divine light within us, to be open to that. And that can lead to moments of doubt about things we thought before, and bring us to higher wisdom, deeper faith. And so for all those reasons, doubt can be a sign of impending spiritual progress. Time to move on, time to think through something that needs to be thought through. And at the end, as I said, you might have a deeper conviction about a precept or a principle, or you might move on to a different one. So it takes a kind of leap of faith to face a crisis of faith, because you have to have the faith that you'll come through it okay, and that the universe is a friendly place. And this impulse of doubt is also the voice of the divine moving you forward, just as deep conviction might be taken as a sign, the voice of God in some circles, so the alignment with the divine will. So can doubt. Doubt can mean, psst, rethink this, give it a little bit more thought. And so if you can go through the crucible of doubt with the faith that you'll come out okay, and the universe is a safe place, safe enough to hold your doubt and see you through the process of going and making choices and thinking hard and asking difficult questions, there's a big payoff in spiritual progress. All of which, this interplay of doubt and faith, there's a lot of little rhythms like that make the spiritual path both sublime and wacky. It's serious, as the old saying goes, it's serious as a heart attack. I'd rather say it's as serious as an MRI, and as goofy as a sitcom. And those paradoxes, some of what we'll deal with in the workshop this afternoon, talk about the interesting moments along the path, things that arise that can be used as stepping stones, and ways to accelerate our path to awakening, including those moments when you wonder if such a thing is even possible. So in the spirit of Diwali, thank you for allowing me to be a heretic this morning. And welcome to the world of doubts and faith. And I hope all or many of you at least will join us for lunch and conversation this afternoon about the nuances of real life on the spiritual path. And let me be among the first to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. We all have much to be thankful for and much light to be shed in a dark world. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Phil. Also, we are really color coordinated today. On a silly note. Oh, well, I feel much better about how often I stand up here and say, I just didn't think I could do it this week, because my own sense of that razor's edge in my practice and what that is for me had at some point before Sunday morning felt like, what am I going to say? So I do welcome those questions, because they are the questions that I live with as well. And I loved as a teacher when a student would ask a question that just stumped me. Those are some of my favorite moments, because they did really lead to some rich kind of mutual discovery. So don't all ask me questions at once today. And I do hope that you will stay and stick around for let us feed you and nourish you with some food, but then stick around and let's nourish each other for what it is like to show up in real life. These days where the world needs so much, what we offer when we show up in the depth of what we believe. So I do hope that you will stay. And Karina, I'm grateful that you gave a little bit of the highlight. It also reminds me that on the bulletin boards out in the hallway, we do post that information. It's good information to have, what's going on at Unity. Their flyers are up there. The thank you notes from the groups that we send money to as part of our tithes are up on the bulletin board. And then the little snapshot of what we have brought in, thanks to your love offerings, and what we have sent out into the world, both with our tithes and in, the real world, bills to be paid and salaries and all of those good things. And to work and be someplace where you clapped when I said I took 2 days off, I love you all. Thank you. So let's just pause for a moment in gratitude. We do have so much to be thankful for that flow that we are absolutely a part of. Whether you doubt it or not, we are. And in just a moment, we're going to sing a beautiful song to remind us, and our wonderful ushers will come around with their butterfly nets to catch your offerings. But I ask you to just think about that list of announcements. That means that people are showing up. You are showing up. We are showing up. So that divine flow, some of it is that as well. And what a gift it is for us to walk this highway, this razor's edge together. So you may know the words of that offering blessing. Phil's working on that. There we go. Thanks, Phil. The PowerPoint doesn't always keep up with us, as hard as he tries back there. Thanks, Phil. All right, so let's say together this blessing. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We are blessed to know that Spirit is our source. Thank you, Father, Mother, God, and so it is. Amen.
I thought, how am I going to find a song about doubt that's going to work for this talk? And I did. And it's a song by our friend Mark Shepard, who was here last week, our compulsive songwriter friend. Wrote this in 1998, called Living with the Questions. Chorus goes something like this. I'm living with the questions. I'm seeing things I've never seen before. I'm searching for the truth, digging right down to the roots. Maybe that's what life is for. So sing that when it comes up with us. There's an old gray moon above us. There's a city down below. There's a secret that I'll never tell, because I cannot yet know. We've got beads of expectation standing out upon our skins. We've got sirens in the deep of night to notify the next of kin that we've left in search of answers to the questions locked like doors. Someday we may dare live into the truth that beckons from the farthest shore. Living with the questions, I'm seeing things I've never seen before. I'm searching for the truth, digging right down to the roots. Maybe that's what life is for. There's a telephone invading with its shrill and jangled news, but I am concentrating on holding my own tune. Sometimes I feel like I am haunted by the question say the answer's in the desert. And there's power there for sure, where the sky goes on forever, and the Spirit opens doors. There's a difference between illusions and what is magical and true. In the blessing of confusion, will the wisdom you seek find you? I'm living with the question. I'm seeing things I've never seen before. I'm searching for the truth, digging right down to the roots, and that's what life is for. See you again. I'm living with the question. I'm seeing things I've never seen before. I'm searching for the truth, digging right down to the roots, and that's what life is for. Searching for the truth. I'm searching for the truth, digging right down to the roots, and that's what life is for. Thank you, Mark, for that song.
And thank you to Julie and Joelle, who's doing her first stint as usher, and great job with the butterfly nets all. In gratitude, I don't doubt that we will use these gifts of love, the financial stability that has kept this community shining its light. I trust in faith that we will use these well to continue to grow the love that we awaken in ourselves so that we can awaken in the world. And so it is. Amen. So I just want to take a second to also thank our good friend Lorraine Guyon for being here today. And she and her lovely husband Dennis will also help provide music for for part of Isabel's service on Saturday. So, you know, St. Vincent's and Unity, our ties run deep. It's really lovely to have that back and forth with two great communities in this city. So all that we hold, right? This is what we bring with us into every moment. We are just so fortunate on our Sundays together to bring that into awareness that might be hard to maintain as we're going through the week. And so whatever you are carrying, those concerns close to you, the joys that are close to your heart, the things that you're grateful for, those moments when your crisis of faith led you to something deeper. And for all of those people around the world, especially those in Palestine and Israel, and every part of the world, including our own country, where violence is the norm. May we do our part to shed light from here, to be light to all that we encounter in our own circles. And may we have enough faith to turn our hope into courage, to be this prayer of protection that we offer. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. We are unrepeatable expressions of the divine. And so it is. Amen. Don't forget lunch, then workshop. Then you can go home and watch football.
Sing it out. From the moment that I wake up till I go to sleep at night.
Offer up my work and words and bring them to the light. Let me feel the power through which we all unite. Let my life be prayer. Let my life be prayer. Oh, let my life be prayer.
Let my life be Our time upon this planet is surely but a span.
Things are bound to happen which I cannot understand. So in both joy and sorrow, I take your lasting stand. Let my life be prayer. Let my life be prayer. Oh, let my life be prayer. Oh, let my life be prayer. Surely you will see me through.
Sing it again now.
Let my life be prayer. Oh, let my life be prayer. Oh, let my life be prayer. Surely you will see through. Surely you will see me through.
Amen. Have some lunch.
The Justice Committee meeting will be nestled between Coffee and Phil in the garden room.
What time will it start, Tim? What time will it start?
11:30.